You're listening to the Hockey Talk Podcast with Daniel Mola. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hockey Talk Podcast. I'm Daniel Mola, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of things. First thing, we're going to talk about the hub city for the NHL. Second thing, we're going to talk about the new Hall of Fame inductees, the new players who have got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And the third thing is we're going to talk about is how new coronavirus cases has unfortunately set back the NHL return to play date from mid-July, from being from mid-July to now mid-July to actually to being now completely at the end of July 30th, and that's only if the coronavirus cases hold up, but we will get to that soon. And first we're going to talk about is the hub cities. So the hub cities, recently, I don't know if you all heard about it, but recently the Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Dallas, and Columbus have been chopped from the cutting board. Have been chopped. Have been eliminated from holding NHL games for the NHL playoffs in their cities or whatever. They have been chopped, which leaves maybe the Canucks actually getting the winning or getting the bid for having the NHL playoffs being here. I think that it's going to be awesome if it does. I mean, we can't go to the games, but I think just thinking that all the teams are here and we get to watch every single team, and they know, and we know they're in our city and everything. It could just gives our city more popularity, basically, And so I think that's good. I think Vegas is still in the mix, and I think that Montreal is still in the mix as well for the hub city. But Vancouver is in the mix as well. They're still in the bid for the hub cities, which is pretty cool. And yeah, hopefully the NHL agrees to have our city host all the NHL playoff games. That would be pretty cool. Next thing we're gonna talk about, the Hall of Fame inductees, and congratulations to everybody in the Hall of Fame. 5 players made it. One of them being Jerome McGinley. And then there's Marian Hossa, Kevin Lau, Kim St. Pierre, congratulations to her, and Doug Wilson. So Jerome McGinley, let's start with Jerome McGinley. Awesome player. I remember growing up and watching Jerome McGinley play. He was a really good player for Calgary. He was actually he got drafted to Dallas. And then a year later he got signed to the Flames. So during his I would say the high peak of his career was with the Flames. Obviously, he was a dynamite player for the Flames. He was a really good hockey player, and they didn't win the Stanley Cup, in which I know that Jerome McGinley wanted to win the Stanley Cup for himself and for his team as well. But unfortunately, he never got the chance to win the Stanley Cup. But nevertheless, awesome player, great player, dynamite player. He scored a lot of goals, got a lot of points. I think he scored like 600 goals or something like that. Pretty good for pretty good for Jerome McGinley. But yeah, then we got Marian Hossa. Marian Hossa, he won 3 Stanley Cups, I believe. Marian Hossa won. I'm just gonna double check that quickly and double check. I got that right. I'm gonna type in Marian Hossa Stanley Cup. Wins. Just gotta make sure I 3 consecutive Stanley Cups. I know I got that right. He won 3 Stanley Cups. With 3 different teams actually. He won with the Chicago Blackhawks, and yeah, I think he won with the Detroit Red Wings as well. And yeah, and that's pretty good. So congratulations to Marian Hossa. He really shined in Chicago. He was pretty big with Chicago and stuff. He was big with Detroit as well, but people really know him through Chicago, like when he played for Chicago and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Kevin Lau, congratulations, Kevin Lau. Great player as well. All these players are great players. That's why they're in the Hall of Fame, obviously. Um, and Kim St. Pierre, great. She's really great. She played for Canada, Team Canada, women's hockey. She's a really great player, and I watched her and cheer for Team Canada, and it was great. And yeah, and Doug Wilson, also a great hockey player, and yeah, I got a lot of points, scored a lot of goals, a lot of assists, pretty good. Yeah, and actually there are a few people who are on the Team Canada here. So we got for men's hockey, we got Jerome McGinley who played for Team Canada. Marian Hossa also played for Team Canada, and they won the gold medal. So at least they won the gold medal. At least they can say that they won something, right? At least Jerome McGinley and Marian Hossa won the gold medal. Actually, let me just double check. I don't want to get that wrong. I know Jerome McGinley is Canadian, and Marian Hossa is Marian Hossa Canadian? Let's see here. No, Slovak. Marian Hossa is Slovak. So pardon me. He didn't win the gold medal with Team Canada because he wasn't on Team Canada. He's on Team Slovak. But I'm sure he had a great experience playing in the Olympics, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, Jerome McGinley has won gold medal for Team Canada, along with a number of Canucks players who won on Team Canada as well. And and Kim St. Pierre won a gold medal for women's hockey, and yeah, she's a really great player as well. She's really cool, and and that's pretty cool. So really great, all in all, really great hockey players. Whether it's Jerome McGinley, St. Pierre, Kim St. Pierre, Kevin Lau, Marian Hossa, whether it's any of those players, they're all great hockey players, and yeah, they're really cool. They're really good. Next, we're going to talk about coronavirus and how it set back the league return to play date. So originally the Canucks, I don't know why I was going with that one, but originally the NHL is what I meant to say. I didn't mean to say Canucks, but originally the NHL, but we'll get to Canucks soon. But originally the NHL had said that the league might return back to play mid-July, maybe kind of near the end of July. But now they have stomped their foot in the ground and has said no. There has been too many new coronavirus cases, unfortunately, showing up in the NHL. One of the new cases have been Austin Matthews have gotten it. Also, who else has gotten it? Oh yeah, by the way, half the Tampa Bay Lightning roster had gotten the coronavirus, unfortunately. So that's pretty bad. But yeah, so now Bettman and the NHL Association has moved the NHL return to play date back, and it's gonna be starting at the end of July. But that's only if the coronavirus cases hold up. If they don't, then maybe August, and that's gonna be kind of hard to do with the new season coming up and everything. But nevertheless, just cross our fingers, I guess, and hope and prayed, I guess, that hope and pray that, I guess, yes, that the season will start on July 30th now. Let's hope and pray that the season will get started on July 30th now. And so yeah, I mean, even if it gets called back once again, probably going to be for another just week and a half, maybe even two. But yeah, I still think we're gonna see some hockey before we all go back to school and work, to begin the new year or whatever of working and going to school and stuff. But yeah, I think we're gonna get to see some hockey before we start to get busy again and everything. And I think it'll be pretty cool. I think it'll be really fun getting to see some hockey again. I mean, we all missed it. I missed it. I know you all missed it. So yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. But yeah, I guess that's it for this podcast. I don't know. I mean, oh yeah. So I was gonna talk. Pardon me. I was gonna talk about the Canucks. Canucks. They actually have Oli Olevi. I think that's how you say it. Oli Olevi. I think that's how you say it. But they just released a statement saying that he's fit and healthy and ready to play and ready to take on any challenges. So hopefully the Canucks will give him a chance in the playoffs. You never know, right? But I know it's a slim chance, but because the Canucks got Brock Besser and Pedersen, and Besser's healthy, and almost the entire Canucks roster now is pretty healthy. So it's pretty healthy. So I don't know if there's any chance that Oli Olevi will play, but you never know, right? Maybe Travis Green will give him a chance to show him what he can do, or show the Canucks team what he can do, and then go from there, I guess, right? And I still think the Canucks gonna win the Stanley Cup this year. I mean, we say that every year as Canucks fan, but I still think they're gonna win the cup this year. I think they got the momentum on their side. They got the players. They got everything. Everything from management to coaching to players to fans to everything. So yeah, I mean, and yeah, it's gonna be a great rest of the season this year. In terms of playoffs and everything. So yeah, but I still think the Canucks are gonna win. I still think the Canucks are gonna win the Stanley Cup. They got and I know they got the fans, and even me being one of the fans behind them to support them. So yeah, go Canucks, go! And yeah, that's gonna do it for this podcast. I know I said last week that there will be a podcast episode for this week, and there is, as you can see, because I'm obviously doing it right now. But and I know I said, but next week there isn't supposed to be a podcast because I'm gonna be out of town. But I'm actually gonna do an episode on the road, a podcast episode on the road. I can't bring any of my heavy equipment with me, obviously, because it's computered and everything here, so I can't bring. And this microphone and most of the equipment here is expensive. But I will bring in my laptop, and I'll record on there. And I won't be bringing this microphone because it costs a lot of money. But I will be bringing earbuds with a microphone on it. I know audio not that really good with those type of headsets or whatever, but I will edit the audio to make it sound like that's actually coming from this microphone or a type of microphone like this. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. Hope you guys can all see that or hear that, whatever. But yeah, I'll edit the audio to make it sound like it's coming from a microphone just like this one. But yeah, because I think I have time to record a podcast next week, and so I'm gonna do it. And so yeah, that's all what's gonna be. This is all what. Sorry, hang on a second. Let me find the words. Let me find the words. Hang on a second here. That is all what's gonna be for this week of the podcast. I will be recording another podcast next Tuesday. Next week so it can release on Friday, just like the podcast I've been dropping on every Friday as of right now. There will be no camera next week on YouTube. I would just put my logo, and then the audio would play over the logo, and you would just see the logo for the entire video. There would be no camera because I can't bring my camera with me. There's no room on the trip, and it's really expensive as well. So yeah, you would just see my podcast logo and audio playing over it or whatever. And so that would be pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it. So a new podcast next weekend. Even though next week, even though I said there wasn't gonna be an episode next week, but there is gonna be there is gonna be an episode next week. End of story. And yeah, I will see. Thank you for everybody for tuning into this podcast episode of another podcast episode of the Hockey Talk podcast. And yeah, I'm Danny Mola, and I will see you all later. Take care, everyone. See you later. Peace.